Hi, welcome to the Fancy Farm. It's Joel. We had 5 roosters. Well, we had 6, and we didn't need 6. We only needed 1, so we picked our nicest rooster, and we put the other 5, separated them, and tonight is processing night. But what I thought you guys might like to see is how we pluck chickens. We pluck chickens the old-fashioned way. We don't have a plucker, and so we do it the old-fashioned way. And I thought that might be maybe interesting to you folks. So what we got first is our water, and I have this on a crab cooker here. We heat it up. Your water needs to be between 130 degrees to 170, and so we tend to push about the 100, 170 mark. Sometimes we scald a little bit of the skin, but as we're dipping birds, it gets cooler and cooler. Now these are roosters, and I've actually never plucked Freedom Ranger roosters before, so I'm not sure how it's going to go, but we're going to give it our best shot. So let's start. So here's a fresh bird that I just slaughtered on the business block, and we are going to go dip it. So you want to submerge the whole bird, just like you would see a commercial dunk tank. You kind of put it in, bring it out for a second, put it in, and be careful. This steam is very hot on your hand, so bring it out, put it in. Now this water is very hot, and I can actually see some of the skin under the wing is scalding a little bit. And you're just kind of testing and seeing how easy the feathers come off. And they seem to come off pretty easy here. So I think this bird is ready to pluck. So Aubrey and I are going to show you how we pluck chickens. So set it right here in the middle of my table. The table is just made out of some plastic roofing. It has ribs in it, and this way the water kind of stays in the middle, all the kind of icky water, and it flows off the sides. So we'll start plucking. A little bit warm on the ground. It is very hot at first, but Aubrey's a master plucker, so this isn't her first chicken. This isn't her first chicken rodeo. So literally all you're doing is just grabbing the feathers and pulling them off, and they come off quite easy. These are Freedom Ranger roosters. How old would you say these are, babe?
About 3 months.
About 3
well,
months.
Well, actually so close to 4 months.
We've let them go a little long. They're a nice looking bird. For a meat bird, that's a little long. But we were happy to have them. We actually have some of the hens in with our other layers. So yeah, we're thankful. So we kind of do a rough plucking like that. Pluck the underside of the wings. Just anything you can easily grab from this side. I kind of leave these small pin feathers till after, although there is very few on this bird, which I'm surprised at. I'm used to doing the Cornish cross, and they have a lot more pin feathers than this bird does. So maybe it's just this bird in particular. We'll find out. We've never, this is our first time doing the Freedom Rangers. So at this point, we'll flip it, start on the back. And hey, if you guys want a pillow or anything made, just let me know. I'm sure we can arrange something. A little more down in these than the Cornish cross. They kind of stick to your fingers a little bit more. But that bird we dunked pretty well. These feathers actually come out quite well, so coming out pretty easy, and you can see it. I mean, a plucking machine would be nice for a large amount of birds. I've entertained that thought a lot. But when you're just doing a small number like this, 5 birds like this will probably take us under an hour to pluck and process. So far fewer pin feathers. Sometimes on the Cornish cross, I actually use a pair of tweezers. So we pluck the bird down as far as we can, and then I use a pair of tweezers to actually get all the pin feathers out. And what I'm finding on this Freedom Ranger is actually very few pin feathers, and I like that, you know. This is a smaller bird. Our Cornish crosses we grow out to about 5 pounds, and This is probably a 2.5 pound bird. This one's a little smaller. We have some bigger ones. 2.5, maybe 3 pounds here. We will see, but yeah, so that's kind of what you're looking for here. Is we plan on getting a cone to continue our processing instead of doing it with the chopping block and the axe. But at this point, we have not purchased or built a cone, and so we're just continuing with the way it's been done before. But the cone definitely does reduce the stress on the bird, probably a lot less flapping around. Sometimes on Cornish crosses, they'll get a little bruising. The bug's bugging you. That's an experienced plucker. She scratches her face with her arm, not her fingers. So she's processed a few birds.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll flip it back over, make sure we got a lot of these pin feathers off. Sometimes it's hard to tell because there's, especially with these feathers, they've got a little bit of down to them and they kind of stick to the bird a little bit. And you'll notice this is done before the bird is eviscerated, before we've done any of the processing and removal of the innards. So we do it with the bird whole. This skin has scorched just a little bit, but that's because of the hot water and it cools off as we dip birds in it. So at this point, just step back for a second. At this point, I'll kind of give things a rinse so I can get these out of the way and kind of see where we're at on the bird.
Our powerful water pressure.
Our powerful water pressure from not too much head, but you know, it functions okay, and we're not being very wasteful with our water at this point. So that's, I guess you got to look on the bright side. So just washing the feathers away. There's a lot of birds, you know, there'll be a lot of feathers that don't get too carried away. I just kind of clean our surface. We'll go back at it here. Very few pin feathers. I'm very happy with how this bird plucked, actually. So yeah, that's about it. We just wanted to give you the rundown on how we pluck birds, give you a little information, and show you the old-fashioned way of doing things. We'll just do a few little things, clean this up, and we'll be ready to eviscerate. Nice to talk to you. We'll talk to you later. Bye.